Everybody, Lawler here. As always, it is Monday. This will be Tuesday for all of you watching, and we've got a breakdown of what went down this weekend with the North American LCQ. In a future video, we'll also be covering Europe as they now have their top teams competing this next weekend. A lot of stuff for us to cover. But in today's video, we're going to break it down with a couple different parts. First things first, we're going to just do an overall recap. We're going to talk about what happened. We're going to give our flowers to the teams that won and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about kind of everything from the typical third-party perspective, which is what I normally do. And then in the second part of the video, I'm actually going to talk about our experiences, kind of thoughts. There's a lot of people in chat hanging out with us. Shout outs to everybody on twitch.tv/Lawler hanging out with us. Everybody in the comments as well. If you have questions that you would like for Carl specifically, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get to you those. But we're going to address basically our situation, our run, everything that went through it, and kind of the general narratives going in that we've been hearing and going on from there. But again, a lot for us to talk about. We're going to start straight into the top 16. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the content, like, subscribe, notifications, let me know in the comments down below if there's stuff you'd like to see while we wait for the World Championship. These are our 16 teams. We've got Complexity and Shopify as our 1-2. Then the boys, which is Hoxer now in instead of Percy, with Evo and Aqua. NPL, Lion Blaze, Panda, Knight. There is our team, 100x35, BOTB, Pepega Shake, Norms, Itopia, Gas, a bunch of others. Some familiar, some not. Pirates on a Boat, Andy, Eris, and Mech. Eris, I think, the only original member. Then you've got Gyro, previously deleted, and Mech was with Bubble Sort, I think it was at one point. Yeah, mixture of everything. You've got 2/3 of Hey Bro, which is Creams and Hockey, and what was once Pirates on a Boat. So very interesting to see a bunch of different names. Not mean anything. And then you got Little Step Bros with God and those guys. We had some pretty scary moments, if I'm not going to lie, in our groups. We're going to start with Group A. Our top seeds were Complexity, Pepega Shake, NPL, and Carl. As you guys know, when I did my predictions on these and I prefaced it, and even though I prefaced it, people still had the same problem of being like, man, you think you're a little overconfident on your team? Guys, why would I actively predict my own team to lose? Why would I be like, yep, I'm not confident in us. I don't think we can win. Like, that's just so stupid. Like, obviously, I am realistic and know that there will be hurdles and there will be complications and that, yes, there are other teams that we have a lot of respect for. But of course, I believe in our team to win. Why wouldn't I? Hey, man, you're going to go compete in a tournament, but we're going to lose to that team. Well, then you've already lost, man. What are you doing? Have you never competed in anything ever? Again, I knew we were going to have tough matches. I knew that we were going to face adversity. But yes, I wholeheartedly believe that we had the capabilities to win. You can go and ask any of the other teams that we've been scrimming against. They all think we play unrealistic because we have been very, very successful in our scrims. But at the end of the day, it comes down to pressure. It comes down to how can we handle when everything is on the line. And that is kind of the general takeaway. Pressure is so different. And this is a really cool, I guess, peeling behind the curtain for me, and I'll talk about this again when we get into the specific Carl-based conversation. But obviously, I've been in high-pressure moments between casting and all that kind of stuff. I've been able to watch these teams firsthand when I was part of the RLCS, but being in it as a coach, my biggest fear in life is being helpless. I hate seeing something I don't like and not being able to make a difference. It drives me crazy. I hate it. It's uncomfortable. But I think the best place and the best way to grow as a person is put yourself in uncomfortable situations. I learned a lot about myself and the team and just Rocket League competition in general while being directly involved in it to the degree that I was. After a certain point, you just got to have faith in your team to do what you have put all those hours and months of time into practice. And sometimes that happens and sometimes it does not. That is the reality of competition. So that being said, Complexity looked good. Pepega Shake able to put up a decent fight. They do make it through eventually. Shoutouts to those guys. Again, Pepega Shake to me was one of those teams that was going to be kind of a litmus test for some teams. I don't think they had the peaks that they needed in order to go and win, but they would be competitive and knock out all those teams that are kind of in the 10 and below area. NPL with Night Panda and Lion Blaze came through and looked pretty dang solid, and then we beat Norms. Again, we got off to a pretty shaky start, but it eventually bounced back. We eventually played NPL, and they did beat us pretty handedly. Obviously, 1-goal games in 3 of those with us taking down an OT, but the general narrative for us is we just couldn't get our offense to click. We could not put away the goals. As much pressure as we were applying, as much shots on target, none of those shots, unfortunately, were threatening. There was either too many people in net, The shot itself was kind of direct on target without the pace or the misdirection that we normally have. And we don't need to go into the specifics as to why that is, but the reality is the overarching narrative is pressure. This is the first time this team has competed as a team in a competitive environment, and you're pairing that as well with either you win or you go home and your season is over. It's a lot of pressure. It is something that you don't know how people are going to react to it. Some people thrive in it. We saw 5UP do that numerous times, where he had made some very clutch goals that we needed in the moment. Now, that being said, Little Step Rose coming off of a reverse sweep of their own in lowers to bring it into us. And then Norms, who we beat earlier, does bring it up against Pepega Shake. Unfortunately, they do concede there. Pepega Shake scoring a bunch of goals. Playstyle-wise, Pepega Shake does match up very well against Norms. We then gave everybody absolute cinema by dropping our first 2 games to Little Step Rose. So much, in fact, that in game 3, where we go to a 5.5-minute overtime, and we only win by 1 in order to stay alive, and then we proceed to absolutely do exactly what is expected. I can tell you conversation here is basically do your job. The conversations that went here, and shoutouts to our captain in comm, kind of our vocal veteran, basically just saying, like, guys, what are we doing? You know how to play the game. You are better than what you are playing. Just do it. Just play the dang game the way you're supposed to. And then we did. Gave people some entertainment. We reverse sweep. We move on. That created a lot of opinions from people, which is what it is. But opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So, with that in mind, we go to Group B. Shopify looked like the most complete team, even though they went to 5 against Gas. Absolute phenomenal series, by the way. Great series. Very entertaining, but Shopify, I think, looked like the most complete team in top 16. Pobe played upset to the boys, which was really exciting. Shoutouts to Mech, Andy, and Eris for putting on a fight, which gave them a top 6 auto bid, which is pretty dang dope. On the other side, Haybro, I was surprised to actually see them concede to 100x35, but 100x35 is a team that, in our experiences in scrims, usually plays a pretty competitive game. They match pace really well. They're a resilient one. They're very competitive. They always put up a pretty dang good fight. So, not surprised that Haybro conceded, but Haybro I expected to maybe make it into the next part of the bracket. And then the boys do bounce back. Unfortunate for Gas. Would have been cool to see Gas make it through, but not the reality. We then go to playoffs, and it is sweep day. Sweep day for everybody but us. We start again really slow. Offense isn't going. Can't do what we need to do. Really long OTs. Thank goodness we won this one. We immediately concede in this one. But yeah, a lot of back and forth. And kind of gave us the understanding of, I think, reality set in for me about what our team's faults and frustrations were. Hopefully, as every series continued, we would start to lean into more of what it is that we did best, but a little bit too much, obviously preemptively showing the results. But again, between the boys having a miraculous run, obviously they come in really strong, really offensive, struggled a little bit initially against MPL, but then finally got the other 2 and those guys coming in. But yeah, it was good to see that those guys came through and really turned it on in those last 2 games. We thought it was going to be GG's. Like, there was a moment where we were terrified. They scored a 0-second goal. It literally hit the corner. We got a This Is Rocket League moment. Absolutely dope. But the boys, in a very close series against NPL, able to take it. And then go up and do it against Complexity too. Hoxter's interview is probably the best thing. You could see the relief, but also just the amount of adrenaline that was going through him. Face completely red as soon as they won. He walked off camera, didn't even celebrate. Like, it is so much pressure. Many people talk about how these tournaments are more pressure than they have ever been, and it is insane. Great viewership. It is great entertainment, I think, for everybody watching. Absolutely loves when we have stuff on the line, when we have things we need to do, love it. Absolutely love it. These tournaments are what this is all about. So Pirates on a Boat does get the best of us. Again, we just couldn't score. Shoutouts to Mech. Mech played extremely well. He's been getting a lot of love. His stocks are going up, rightfully so. Really, really cool to see him have those types of experiences as well. Had a really, really good series. Really happy for them. Again, Andy had a really good interview. If you guys didn't see it, talks about the reason why they put together the team. I would recommend going back and checking that out. Yeah, Poe was just the better team on the day. We just couldn't score on them. That's on us. All the credit in the world to them. Unfortunately, they had to go up against a red hot Shopify. 2Piece officially becomes 2Peak. Plays out of his mind. Plays so well for that team. And kind of the cool storylines and the cool narratives for this has to do with the fact that, and I forget the exact amount. I got to look at my own tweet. I put it out. Shopify Rebellion's been in Rocket League since 2021 and has never made it to a world championship until now. Last year, they played against OG in a Game 7 overtime. They lost to OG, which was Calm and the boys. And because of that, if they would have made that major, they then would have made the world championship. They were 1 goal short in an OT. So after 5 years and like 7 different roster iterations, they have finally made it. Pretty dang impressive. I'm really, really happy for them. I'm really happy for the organization. One of the things that I really enjoy about Shopify is even though they have expressed like being in Rocket League is a detriment, we love this game, we love this esport, it's really important to us. The fact that they stuck it through and they were rewarded for it, I think is pretty awesome for the organization. There's not many orgs that give the level of support and attention that they do, and for them to be rewarded for their efforts is absolutely phenomenal. So pretty cool stuff. Congrats to Shopify Rebellion. They will be going to the World Championship in the play-ins, and then they will play the winner of TSM and whatever the E representation is that we will find out this weekend. So that's your recap for NA. Talking specifically about Carl. Again, really cool entertainment, really cool experience for me. It was awesome to get to be a coach, and I saw a lot of you guys in chat saying kind things anytime I was on camera, which is awesome. Greatly appreciate the love and support there. The team as a whole, I can't tell you what the future is. They're playing Virtus Pro. I thought they played Foot. If it is Virtus Pro, apologies on the miscommunication. But yeah, the experience was cool. It was cool to be a coach. It was cool to be in the trenches. 3 months of hard work and everything, and we just couldn't get it done on the day that matters. Ultimately, I think across the board, I'm really proud of the guys. I don't think people realize how much time, effort, energy goes into this stuff. And to show up every single day and put in the time and effort and actively try to make changes and build new habits and stuff is not easy. To the couple organizations that were interested in signing us and it ended up not working out, thank you for the consideration. I would like to think this is just kind of the first step for Carl or whatever our team name ends up being in the future. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if the guys still want me as a coach. I don't know if they're going to stick together. I don't know if they're going to look for new thirds. I don't know if they're... That's a conversation that we still have to have. Ultimately, the guys suffered a tough loss. We said formalities and then all went our separate days. It is something that we will address in a future meeting together. But for now, we're just kind of letting it sink in, the feeling, and then we'll react to it at another time. So I can't tell you what the future is. I do think the team still has a lot of promise. It's just a matter of putting it together when it matters most. And the best way to do that is more experience being exposed to the high level stuff. The nice thing is 2/3 of that roster with Talk, Calm, and Sosa, who is the sub or the other Canadian, will be competing in the Canadian Expo Land coming up at the end of August. So they go and play that. It's, I think, a 23K prize pool, so that'll be fun. I will not be attending because it's way too expensive to go to cover flights, hotels, and then not get any prize pool money, so I'm not going to do that. They're going to see if they can accommodate me and Comms. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. A lot of Rocket League just in general, a lot of appreciation for what everybody does. Obviously, you guys are seeing people like Greg and Xperi come in, coaches obviously of other NA teams stopping by. A lot of credit. I don't think people realize how much time, effort, energy goes into this, and it's a very thankless position. Not saying that's the case here. It's just basically being helpless. You are sitting there, you have put in all this time and effort, and as much as you can talk and try to calm the nerves and do everything, it's not up to you. It's up to your players on the field. Can they enact what has been discussed? Can they hold each other accountable? Can they execute on what is needed to be done? It's a team effort. We win as a team, we lose as a team. So I have nothing but credit and praise for the guys. I think the guys did a lot in the time that was given and still proved that they can be competitive. Unfortunately for us, we just weren't able to do what it is that we practice and we put into effort and everything that we are trying to accomplish. Obviously, you guys are probably seeing the chat messages. A lot of people think that we play very unrealistic in our scrims just because of the way that we play, but nothing we're doing is required on mechanics. Nothing we're doing is unrealistic about the way we play. None of us are peaking in what we do. We are just playing very simple, very clean rotational Rocket League. It's just when pressure is on, people regress to old habits. People aren't doing the play style that we're supposed to. People aren't. And that's to a degree expected. So hopefully with more time, with more exposure to it, we can lean into it and recreate what is, to me, the proper European style. So again, a lot of work to do. We'll see what that assessment period looks like and what we want to do in the future. But I can say unapologetically, I'm very proud of Calm, Talk, and 5UP. I think all three of them are world class. I think they're absolutely phenomenal people and phenomenal competitors. And hopefully this is just the beginning for each and every one of them. Obviously, Calm's a little bit more of a weird situation because he's been doing it for a long time, but there's been a lot of criticism of that boy, and people don't realize how good he still is. So people have off days. It happens. Not saying he was the one with the off day, but that is reality. Like I said, win his team, lose his team. Either way, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comments down below. We'll be hanging out in chat here as well, answering any questions that I missed from people. But I'm out of here. Greatly appreciate y'all. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.